What's up, guys? Back with me here with The Fosters, Season 1, Episode 12, House and Home. Okay, so this episode starts off with Callie walking through juvie, and yeah, remember last episode? She got put in juvie, and so yeah, we started this episode with Callie walking through juvie, and she meets her new PO, Craig, and her new parole officer, Ed Craig, and he's basically the last time you talked with with Bill or whoever he mentioned, you said you liked your new foster home. What changed? And she's like, they wanted to adopt us. And it's like, you feel like you don't need to. How do you feel? And she's like, she feels like she's 16. She doesn't need to be adopted, but she wants them to adopt Jude. And he's like, Callie, we can either send you back to juvie, or we can send you back to your foster mom. And Callie's like, I don't want to go back there. So, yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. So then we have dinner and stuff, talking about how she's going back to work, and Jude talks about Jude's like, what happened to Callie, and he's like, is she gonna, and he's like, the judge has brought, and he's like, Callie doesn't want us there, and he's like, too bad, and she's like, yeah, and she's like, we will go there, and we will, and he's like, and she's like, she ran away, Brandon. She ran away, Brandon. She made a ridiculous decision. And Brandon's like, she didn't run away for no reason. And she's like, do you know something we don't? And she just looks over Jude, and Jude's probably don't, or does something. And Brandon's like, she ran away because I kissed her. And yeah. So then we cut, and definitely like, what do you think was gonna happen, Brandon? When did this happen? He's like, at the wedding. He's like, when wedding? He's like, what do you think was gonna happen? The two, we adopt her until you would date. And he's like, Jude saw us, and he freaked out. Jude saw them, and he freaked out, and he said that you won't adopt them, and that's why she left, because she didn't want to mess up things for him. And he's like, Brandon, if CPS found out about this, they could take Callie and Jude out of this house. And Steph's like, you knew you knew it, Brandon. We warned you. And he's like, sorry. And Steph, like, sorry doesn't hack it. I don't know why she says that, but yeah. And Brandon's like, I can't help how I feel about Callie. So yeah. So yeah. So Stephanie, okay, so, well, anyway, we'll talk to that in a minute. Mariana is just sitting at lunch by herself when she's approached by this guy named Chase Dillon, who obviously played by Garrett Clayton, who we all know played Tanner in Teen Beach 1 and 2, and he's like, hey, you helped us out with the play last year, remember? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, do you want to help us out this year? You want to join the play this year? And she's like, sure. So yeah, so that's what Mariana's doing this time. And yeah, this is what Mariana's doing. So yeah. So yeah. So then Stephanie appeared before the court, and they're like, Your Honor, when Callie did well in school, she never talked back to us, and she brought love and joy to their family. but they're not willing to bring her back into their home at this time. And yeah, so Brandon's like, hey, where's Callie? And they're like, is Callie home? And he's like, no. He's like, why not? Because we sent her to a group. We have the judge arrange to send her to a group home. And he's like, wait a minute, what? Callie told me that when you get sent to a group home, then they consider high risk. No one will ever want her again. And Stefan's like, it's like, we still want her. Brandon's like, that's not what you're gonna think. You think she's gonna think you're giving up on her, like sending her to the wall. And she's like, no, you can't do that. And he's like, why not? Because you and Callie need to get over, you need some time apart. And Brandon's like, wait, to get over each other? They're in love. And keeping them apart is not going to change anything. So, yeah. So Steph finally returns to work. And she gets to work with this guy who she calls a sexist dinosaur. Which, yeah. So, yeah. But Captain Roberts keeps her with... And then what? Yeah. So yeah. So then what is Jesus doing in this episode is he plays some ball with Mike, boom, and then collapses. Then collapses. Because and they're like and Mike's like, hey, why not get into a contest? He's like wrestling, and he just said, I'm not groping dudes. And he's like, it's not groping. I just thought it was funny that he said groping. Yeah. So then we see Callie, and she gets sent to this group home called Girls United, and she meets all the other girls. There's even a very familiar one who I will mention later. So actually I'll mention now. So they start going around the room. There's Kiara, Becca, I think that's her name. This is Gabby, Carmen. There's Cole, who's trying. Yeah, there's Cole. There's Daphne, who I'll mention later, who says that she was in for assault. She was in jury for assault and other stuff. So and there's also Rhea Hendricks, who is played by Rosie O'Donnell, who is the main person there, and there's also Kiara, as I mentioned. So Callie's roommates with Kiara, and Callie mentioned, I looked at this scene with Cole, how he says that he's Cole and he hates it there. Like wow, bro. Wow. It's just, sometimes the show's funny, and sometimes it's very weird. So Callie's like, so they start talking about, like, later on they start talking about addictions and what they all got addicted to, and Callie starts talking about how she kissed her foster brother, and she needs her privileges so she can go talk to her brother and tell him why she left. And Kiara's like, hey Callie, if you get your privileges, you can go see your brother. And then Becca comes in to be the bad one and basically call out Callie on being a selfish B. I'm gonna say B, and say how she banged her brother. And Callie's like, I don't care about opinions from a drug dealer, because Becca's a drug dealer. So yeah, and I'm like, tell him, Callie. Cause yeah, so that guy Jesus' play. That gets Jesus gets into wrestling. You meet this character named Emma, who we all know is played by Amanda Layton. I don't know how to say her name. Layton or something, and she voiced Blossom on the Powerpuff Girls review, which we all know is bad. But yeah, and what does Emma do? She immediately beats Jesus and throws him on the mat because that was their first practice, and her response is nice effort. So yeah, what's nice effort about that? You just knocked him down. He didn't have any time to like do anything. So yeah. So yeah. So So Brandon is just walking by when Steph does for some reason Steph tells Jude he's like, hey, Callie's at Girls United, you'll get to see her, and Brandon is walking by and he hears what group Callie's at because Steph didn't notice that Brandon was there, or she would have said, hey, if she didn't want Brandon to know, she would have told. She just does it in an open area. So now Brandon knows where Callie stays at. So what does Brandon do? What any normal person would do. Actually, Rhea gives Callie this good speech about how you can't run away from the consequences. How you can't run away from the consequences. And yeah, so but Callie did accidentally push Cole into a thing. She pushed him into a thing. Yeah, he revealed he's transgender, and yeah, but he likes the word he, so I'm gonna say he. She pushed him into a. He was banishing himself. He told her to get out. She's like, sorry, but he told her to get out. And she just pushes him, and he takes the cover for her by saying, because they have a rule about non-violence, and she's like, and he's like, yeah, Callie's like, yeah, actually he's like, he just slipped on the floor covering for Callie. So, and Rhea's like, hey, what happens when two people don't get along? We make them roommates. So Callie now has to live with Cole. So yeah, but yeah, so Callie, Rhea's like, hey, Callie, Cole has ice cream. So Cole goes down for the ice cream, and yeah, because of the whole incident, Rhea took away Callie's privileges, and that means he couldn't see Jude, and now Jude's even more mad at Brandon. It's just like, and yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. Because yeah, I like to see when Mariana and Jesus confront Brandon. He's like, they're like, you're so. Yeah, they say he's so horny he couldn't keep her hands off Callie, and he's like, she kissed me too, and he's like, I can't. I'm tired of everyone acting like I'm some sort of Liam, and he's like, Liam, and she's like, and he's like, and he's, yeah, and Mariana says, yeah, he said something, Jesus says, Brandon says something, Mariana says, but you even tried, Jesus says it's gross, that, yeah, sleeping with Mariana or something, about saying sleep you or something, and Mariana says, bet you even tried, and he's just like, hey, Mariana, that's gross, and she's like, and he's like, I don't get you understand. You don't even have a boyfriend. And she's like, you know what I don't understand? You really just messed up this whole family. I'm not gonna say what they actually say. They say the word screw. But yeah, they say the whole screw you thing in this whole thing. Mariana says you really just screwed up this whole family, and yeah. You really just screwed this whole family. And Jesus is like, you couldn't, and Brandon's like, hey, you couldn't stop how you felt about Lexi. And he's just like, we weren't gonna adopt Lexi. Yeah. So anyway, back to the scene. Brandon Callie's just hanging in the prison area. Rhea gives her this good speech about how Callie just can't run away from the consequences. Not in this house, not even anywhere in life. And Brandon just showing up, walking, just sitting there. And Callie goes out of the house, runs into his arms, and that's how the episode ends. Okay, so what did I actually? I'll talk about the play part. Okay, so during the play part, Mariana was talking to this guy Zach was talking to her. This guy Zach was talking to her, and Mariana not paying attention because Mariana was too busy flirting, too busy googly eyeing over Chase, I think, and and he's like, Mariana, you'll be partnered with Kelsey, and Kelsey, being Mariana's ex-friend, and she's like, yeah, and Mariana's a little mad because she put the blame on Callie, and she's like, everyone knows she went to rehab, but they don't know that Mariana was her dealer. We all knew that, Kelsey. We all knew that. It's not a big reveal. We all knew that Mariana was giving you drugs. It's not a big deal. Boom. But anyway, I thought this episode was really good. It introduced to wrestling. Callie got a good GU. Yeah. Daphne was the one that beat Callie up in juvie. I forgot to mention that. Why did I forget that? Yeah. So Daphne was the one that beat up Callie in juvie in the first episode, and Callie, and she's like, "Are we straight?" And Callie's like, "Nah, we're not straight." Because who can expect Callie to forgive someone who beat her up in juvie? I get Callie not, trusting her because she totally beat her up in juvie. But yeah. And Mariana joined the play, Mariana joined the play, but she's totally eyeing this guy named Chase, and she's ignoring this new guy named Zach, who should not be ignored, because Mariana's being mean by not talking to that guy. So anyway, yeah, and Jesus joined the wrestling team. So, yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, because have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next, The Fosters.